Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Hey, guys. Hey, you. You scared me. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're going to go over 5 different ways that you can improve in the gym because a lot of you guys have a ton of questions about how to get better as a boxer. That really got me out of breath. How to get better as a boxer, how to get better as a fighter on your own. Your coach isn't always going to be around. Your coach isn't always going to be able to hold mitts. So these are 5 ways for you to get better on your own. And if you enjoyed this video before it starts, go ahead, drop a like, comment, make sure to subscribe. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing you guys need to learn if you want to get better on your own is shadow boxing. Any great boxer fell in love with shadow boxing. Yes, it's boring, but you can make it fun. Now, there's 2 ways you're going to want to shadow box. So the mirror, that's going to be your best friend. If you're shadow boxing in the mirror, that's where you can kind of see what's going on in yourself. That's the coach's point of view. So you can almost kind of coach yourself. Now, there's 2 ways you can face the mirror. Obviously, you can either be in the side of the mirror. This is the coach perspective. So if I was to coach you, if your coach was to coach you, this is what they're seeing. And there's also the face of the mirror. You got a crack here. You can do this with Exo marker, tape, whatever. All you really need is just a line. But anyway, that line is going to represent the center line. So if I'm in my boxing stance, hands up, chin down, knees bent, that line is going to represent where people are throwing at me, right? So when I throw a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm rotating my body, I'm keeping my chin down. So my head is going to move with me, and now I'm off the center line. From here, I can move my head. Boom, now I'm on the other side. I can put punches together as well. So maybe I do a 2, my head's on the left, 3, my head's on the right, I slip, my head's back on the left. So every single time I'm doing something on that line, my head's moving, I'm not in the same spot, I'm less vulnerable to get hit. Now the second thing you got is the side view. Now the side view is going to show you a bunch of different things that the front view does not. One thing you might notice is if you're leaning too much on the front foot, you don't want to be front heavy, you want to have about 60% of your weight on the back foot at all times. You can see how big your steps are and your jab, your pivots, all that good stuff. Something I will see a lot of times with beginners, and honestly even just boxers in general who haven't really worked on it, is when they throw a jab, when they throw a left hand shot, a lead hand shot, whatever, they'll drop their right hand, kind of do like a little bow and arrow motion. You can notice that from the side view of the mirror. Next up, we're going to talk about the slip rope. Right here, this is called a slip rope. As you can see, there's no like special branding. This is literally just a piece of like string. You can do this with your hand wraps if you're not at a gym or you don't have access to rope, or you can just go to Home Depot, buy a rope. There's also brands that you can buy where it's like a slip rope, but this it's the same thing. It's just a piece of rope. It's just a string. As long as you have something that's a string, you're gonna be fine. With the slip rope, it's gonna do a bunch of different things for you. So this is primarily a tool used for head movement, but like I said, you can mix in a bunch of different things off of it, and we're gonna go over all those. Is if my left shoulder is on the rope, my lead shoulder is on the rope, if I throw a lead hand shot, my body weight shifts to the right side. So I gotta go back to the lead side to get my body weight to a neutral position. Vice versa, if my right shoulder is on the rope, say for instance I throw it 2, my body weight's on my left, I can't really slip left, I'm already on the left. I can't weave left, I'm already on the left. So I'm gonna go back to the rear side. Now, that's super, super basic. So I can do that with a 3, a 5, a 4, a 6. I tell my clients, left shoulder's on the rope, throw a left hand shot, move to the left, right shoulder's on the rope, throw a right hand shot, move to the right. You can also mix in your dips. So no matter what you do, say I throw a 2, 3, boom, I don't gotta go back to the left. I can just dip, step in, and stay on that side. Next part about it is moving forward and back along the rope. And that's what you're gonna do with your jabs. And you can do that on your punches as well. So maybe if I throw like a 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, I can't move this way, I gotta finish with a lead hand shot. I throw the 3, I step, I weave under. Now back to work, boom, 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 weave. Same thing going back. You can jab back, you can jab forward. Once you start getting that down, you can start moving off the rope, not face the rope, working on dipping coming in, dipping going back, things like that. We're gonna talk about your stance. So the first thing is, anytime you're in a boxing stance, I actually got this from one of my older coaches, you wanna be able to see the color of your shoulder out of your peripherals. It's gonna do 2 things. 1, if I'm in my stance and I can't see the color of my shoulder, body's gonna be open. That's a gateway for a body shot, a jab to body, 2 to body, whatever. It also opens up the sides a little bit. Versus if I turn in a little bit and I can see, cool, I got a little white shoulder, boom, my elbow's not gonna be in the way, I can't get touch real straight to the body, my sides are a little bit more protected, super basic. The second thing is just knowing your stance. A lot of times people will come into the gym and they tell me they're a southpaw because they thought they're starting with the right hand. No, whatever your dominant hand is, put it in the back. That's always what I've learned, that's always what I've liked. So for me, I ride my right hand, I got my left foot forward. But if you ride with your left hand, go ahead, put your right shoulder forward. You're gonna be in southpaw. And then lastly, in your boxing stance, boxers are supposed to have bad posture. It's actually called the boxer slouch. People will try to box you standing straight up when that's not a good idea, because it actually makes it harder to move and it takes a little bit of power away from your right hand. If I'm here, somebody's trying to punch me straight, boom, they got it. Versus if I'm over here just a tiny bit, one, now the punch is gliding over my shoulder, but also it makes it easier to slip, makes it easier to dip, it makes it easier to turn and get the power in my right hand. So that's just another little thing to think about in your stance. The last thing that I want to talk about is hitting the bag. Now, a lot of times I'll see people working the heavy bag and the bag is swinging like this. That means you're doing something wrong. You never want the bag swinging like this. What that means is you're pushing your punch. So you can snap a punch or you can push a punch. Snapping a punch is going to be looking like when I shoot my hand, almost like the bag to the stove, I touch the stove, I bring it back. Pop. Notice the bag doesn't move at all. Versus if I push the punch, the bag's gonna move a lot. So that's what you don't want to have happen. So to prevent that from happening, you're just gonna snap, pop, snap all your punches. And obviously it's a bag, it's gonna move a little bit. But what you want to try away from is that super big movement on the bag. And to go along with that, I will see so many people on Instagram, TikTok, or just people starting out boxing, and they'll be hitting the bag, pop, they push their punches and the bag starts moving too much, and they'll grab it and then they'll stop it, and that is just, that's never gonna happen in a fight, that's never gonna happen in sparring. If I try to grab my opponent by his cheeks or by his waist when I'm sparring, one, kind of crazy. Two, never gonna happen. Three, easy way to get knocked out. Instead of doing that, you're gonna control the bag with your jab. The jab's the most important punch. It's the fastest, longest, sets up other punches. You guys know all this stuff. But if I'm touching the bag, boom, and it starts moving, maybe I do push a punch, boom, just jab back with the bag, and then jab back in, boom, boom, just start jabbing. Use the jab to control the bag. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead, drop a like, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the next video. Tell somebody you love them. Don't let nobody ruin your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.